This could do it, Rocinante. Certainly a good start. Water means crops, crops mean food. Our people will have what they need to survive here. What is it? Don't start. A tavern? Don't be ridiculous. People want infrastructure, not a place to get a drink.
The horse is right, you know.
Porthos, but what are you doing here?
Following rumors of a flying tree. Of course, I find you here underneath it.
You only want to build a tavern because you want your old job back.
That's right, and unless you're nice to me, you won't be getting any drinks. Rocinante is welcome at any time, though.
Don't encourage him. He's already got a high opinion of himself.
He planted the sapling then?
Yes, he was surprisingly easy to manipulate.
You better be right about this, Lilith. For your sake.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Sunny. I'll be with you in just a moment. We're here at base camp where I'm tired of falling into holes. So before we kick it off today, we're going to take a second and create a nice flat canvas for us to work with. Instead of faffing around with a busted up landscape for the entire season, let's just knock it out real quick with a 30-second time lapse. Alright, now we can do a proper intro. Hello friends, welcome back to Season 3 of Sunny Survival. As always, we hope you're doing well out there in the world. Come take a look at all this beautiful space we now have to work with. Hang out for a second, Rocinante. We now have all this room to build our fantasy town. Our eventual forever home is going to go right on top of this highest hill where the base camp is right now. And the first thing we need to do today is run water from the wellspring across this plain. We'll build a little waterfall right here and then eventually down into what will turn into a lush and overgrown lake area. So the first river is going to run along this upper elevation, following the terrain around. And the second river needs to snake its way down and follow this lower bank all the way around before it dumps into the lake as well. Everyone got it? I'm going to head down to the wellspring. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up later in the episode. If you've seen any of my build videos, you'll recognize what I'm doing here immediately. If you want to see how we're going to turn these ugly wool boxes into a beautiful fantasy tavern, well, stick around. But first, we're down here at the wellspring and we need to have this water convincingly flow down this elevation, have it zigzag its way across this flat space here, and then we need to have it make another elevation change to end up on this flat plateau right here. So that means that we've got a lot of digging to do. Ladies and gentlemen, get your spoons out and let's get started. These two rivers are really going to dictate how our entire town gets built, so it's really important that before we do anything else, we get them in the ground. Everything from the roads to the bridges to where the buildings go and how they're going to look is going to depend on the river. The landscape is pretty barren right now, so it's going to appear at first that we've over-decorated these a little bit, but as the season progresses and we fill in this space, I think they'll settle in quite nicely. As I edited that clip, it occurred to me that I don't know the nomenclature rules of naming rivers, and now I'm not really sure if this counts as one river or two. But anyway, we put in a little waterfall to connect them at the elevation change here, and I added a few of these bulrush cattails as well. I think those look nice. So let's go up here. We will give this river a name strictly for the lore, and so we can reference it in other builds in this area. We're going to call it the Brandywine River, and we'll do something more permanent than a sign as the season goes along. Yeah, I think it turned out nice. Got some driftwood floating along here, stones along the riverbank, patches of gravel, dirt. We are removing all of the flowers for the time being. We're going to be very specific about what flowers we let grow in this area. But for now, I think I see our very first NPC of the season sitting over here, and it looks like they've got all the supplies we need for a brand new tavern. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It's time to cue the music and build a tavern for Porthos. Let's go.
Ah, the tavern. It wasn't always the bustling hub it is today. In those early days, the rooms were thick with pipe smoke. The firelight flickered against the rough-hewn walls, and the smell of spiced stew mingled with the tang of fresh ale. Back then, the tavern was a gathering place for dreamers and drifters, pioneers all, drawn to the promise of the valley. Every night, the air was alive with stories of danger, stories of adventure, stories of gold, beyond all that which you have ever imagined. Some of the stories might have even been true. And of course, there was the stranger, bandaged head to toe. I don't remember ever seeing a face. He sat in a corner booth every night, waiting for someone. But who the stranger was, and for whom he was waiting, he never did say.
Well, folks, it's been raining for 3 days straight. I'd love to show you the progress on the tavern, but with the sun going down and this incessant, unending rain as well, I think that I have a better idea. I was in the tab, and I noticed that our friend BookofMisterE is on. And it's awful late for BookofMisterE to be on, so that means maybe we can catch him AFK. Right, so here we are at Mr. E's Warp Badlands. I love this place. He's doing this whole Mad Max thing. I don't want to show too much because he has his own YouTube videos, but I will link those videos in the description. You guys should definitely check it out. If we're lucky, we might catch him napping here. Oh, yep, there he is. And he's AFK. Alright, we're going to slowly escalate our pranks on Mr. E throughout the season, so we got to start small here. I think just a little gift for his inventory will be fine. And we'll slowly back out. We're back home and the rain has finally stopped, so we can finally take a look at the tavern. I love how the exterior has turned out here. These are going to be our colors for this town, these kind of muted earth tones. So I think those turned out really nice. The interior needs a little bit of work if we're going to live up to Porthos' description of what it was like to visit this place. So I'm thinking we have some nice wooden archways coming through here. Against this wall, we can have a fireplace, a stone brick fireplace, or maybe red bricks would even be nice. We will need some sort of staircase to get up to the second level, and maybe we'll put a little bar right here in this area. Basically, we want this area to be nice and cozy because travelers are coming from the road, and we want them to be able to enter and, you know, just feel good about their time here. So I think this interior has really come along rather nicely. Grab a few drinks, you know, maybe have too many drinks. Perhaps you can come in and grab a quest from the quest giver here. But, so several shops are making these guild flags all throughout the server here, and I think these guild flags are really cool. So if you have a guild flag and you play on Sunny and you want to hang it in the tavern, send me a message and let me know. Got some nice round doors here. That's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout the village as well, and I think it just turned out nice. This is a lovely little tavern to come and have a drink after you've spent a long, hard slog on the road. We've got some extra space down here. Maybe we'll put like a little wine cellar down there, but upstairs here is where things get interesting, because after you've had your drinks, you can come up here, and we need to turn this into our inn portion of the tavern. Up there we'll want to have some rooms, and we'll definitely need to put some sort of staircase so that we can get up there. I'm thinking lush walls and lush carpeting for this space so that people feel nice and warm and welcome and want to pay us money so that they can rent a room to stay the night, so that after they get their drink from Porthos, they can come up here and enjoy this space before they eventually head over to the desk and get a room key from the gentleman here. And then we'll head upstairs to our rooms. All these rooms are decorated differently. They all have a different layout. They have similar furniture, kind of like you would have in a large hotel, where they all have the same kind of furniture, but they have different sizes and shapes throughout the rooms. And I think they turned out rather nice. Out this way there's an outdoor patio, and this looks like a great place to remind you that if you enjoy this content, leaving me a like and dropping me a comment is a great way to let me know. So folks, we got one more thing that we need to do, and that is we need to build a sign out front, give this tavern a name for the lore, so let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to welcome you to the Golden Stag. Alright folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks again for watching. We will see you later. Say goodbye, friends. Yes, you too, Rocinante.